Hello everyone, my name is Joseph and welcome back to the Popsicle Night channel. This video is sponsored by PTCGO the best place for you to get Pokemon TCG code cards. Are you looking to complete your card collection online for the latest set? PTCGO has everything you need. And please remember to use my code NIGHT22 at checkout so that you can get a 5% discount. Please enjoy the discount and your purchase directly supports the content I create in this channel. Thank you guys so much for your support and for your supporting PTCGO. In today's video, we're taking a look at Bisharp from the Astral Radiance set. Bisharp is a stage 1 Pokemon which evolves from Pawniard. We're mainly focusing on its first attack, Vengeful Cut. For just 1 metal energy, it deals 30 plus damage. And this attack does 30 more damage for each damage counter on all of your benched Pawniard. Some players play this with Gapejaw Bog Stadium. Each time either player puts a basic Pokemon from their hand to the bench, it deals 2 damage counters to that Pokemon. And with the help of Zoroark to transform into Bisharp, you can actually have access to all 4 Pawniards. So with 2 damage counters on each of those Pawniards, we're talking 8 damage counters, and that will mean a total of 270 damage output for Bisharp's attack. There is a downside to this strategy though, because not only will you be filling up your bench, but then there is also that damage cap. However, in this build, we're going to try a different approach. I'll be using the Old Cemetery Stadium instead. Each time we attach an energy from our hand to our non-psychic type Pokemon, we deal 2 damage counters to it. So to keep it simple, I'll be using Cherrim with the Spring Bloom ability, which allows you to attach however many grass energies from your hand to your Pokemon with no rule box on it. This will be our means of adding damage to our Pawniards. It is worth noting that I'm using this Pawniard with 70 HP, which means we can stack up to 6 damage counters to it even before any other buffs. However, we can also use the Cape of Toughness so that we can add 50 more HP to our Pawniards, allowing us to stack even more damage to it. And I think this is a better approach because you'll only need 1 or 2 Pawniards in your bench to have Bisharp deal enough damage. And this will also give us more room for our other Pokemon. For consistency, I have Snorlax with Gourmandize ability and a 1-1 line of Bibarel with the Industrious Incisors ability. These will help us to draw more cards. And I also have Manaphy with the Wave Veil ability to prevent bench damage. Of course, we're pretty dependent on our energies, so for recovery, I have Energy Retrieval so that we can get up to 2 basic energies from our discard pile back to our hand. And I also have Ordinary Rod, Clara to get 2 energies and or 2 Pokemon from the discard pile back to our hand, and I also have Raihan. And that's pretty much it. You can find the complete deck list in the description below. And now please enjoy the following gameplay videos showcasing Bisharp. Alright, let's get into our first match. I will go first, and I do prefer going first with this build. And what I like to do in the very beginning of the game is get a Snorlax so I can use Gourmandize. But we're going to start this one off with Manaphy in the active and a Pawniard on the bench. And that's good. We got a Snorlax from the top deck, so I can probably scoop up Manaphy. I can use Gourmandize this turn. And we only have 1 copy of Ordinary Rod. Can use Quick Ball. You know, I'll save that. I'll just Gourmandize for now. Draw into 3 cards. Okay, we got Energy Retrieval, an Energy, and another Snorlax. I could use Quick Ball to discard Snorlax to get another Pawniard. But we'll see. But what you want to do is actually get as much Pawniards in your bench as soon as possible. My opponent's using Galarian Zapdos, and they put 2 energies on it. Bird Keeper. Draw into 3 cards. Oh man. Dude, what is this? This is a Galarian Sirfetch'd V combo. First turn KO on our Snorlax. That's insane. So we're dealing with a very fast-paced matchup here. And when they retreat with Galarian Zapdos, they can transfer all that energy to Sirfetch'd V. This is crazy. I don't know if we're going to win this, but we're going to do our best. Just going to evolve into Bisharp. And we use this to discard the energy. We can use Raihan. And I'm going to build up my Cherrim line. So I'll get a Cherubi. Use Raihan to accelerate an energy on Bisharp. And I'm going to get an Old Cemetery. So we can build up energy or damage counter to our Pawniard. So most likely they're going to knock out my Manaphy anyways. We can use Bruno on our next turn. Ooh, they bump out our Old Cemetery. That's fine. I hope we draw into our other Old Cemetery though. We have 3 left in the deck. And there it is. Galarian Sirfetch'd V. Gonna go into the active, transfer all the energy, and they have a boss. Oh, dude. Look at this. We're already we're already losing. We have no attacker. This is really bad. Okay, we got a Cynthia from our top deck. We use Ordinary Rod to do both. Get the Bisharp line and the Metal Energy. So we have a 4/4 line of Pawniard and Bisharp. Okay, we got a Pawniard. Put the Cape of Toughness. And we are only drawing one card. So I think I'm gonna... I'll put it on Snorlax, I think, yeah. And I'm just gonna Gormandize. I just want to thin out my hand so I can draw into 2 cards at least. We got a Cherrim that's good and another Quick Ball, which we can use to get another Pawniard. Professor's Research, alright. So, what we could do here is... I'm probably going to stall another turn. Got another Galarian Sirfetch'd V. Okay, they passed because their Sirfetch'd cannot attack 2 turns in a row. So it's our turn again. Let's evolve into a Cherrim. And then we can discard the energy. We have Clara, so we can recover that. And then what we need though is Old Cemetery to deal damage. I'll sacrifice a Bisharp, get another Pawniard. Yeah, I think I'll go with that. And then just gonna Gormandize. I'm just gonna stall one more turn. They will be able to attack and knock out our Snorlax, but I just have to set up my Bisharp line. We should be able to knock out this Sirfetch'd, get 2 prizes. We should be able to still catch up because their Zapdos doesn't deal as much damage as a Galarian Sirfetch'd V. So there's a Meteor Smash. They knock out my Snorlax. We're gonna promote our Pawniard. We can evolve that into Bisharp. And then we can attach this energy. We have Old Cemetery. Then we can use Level Ball to get another Pawniard for another backup. Use Energy Retrieval to get 2 Grass Energies from our discard pile. And I'm just going to build up damage counter to this one. And I think I'm going to put 2 damage counter on the other one as well. Just so we don't put all of our eggs in one basket, so to speak. We can use Bruno. That draws us into 7 cards. We got a Bisharp, and look at that. 2 more Grass Energies, so we can actually build up our attack damage output. 2 more here. There you go. 8 damage counters. Vengeful Cuts. And that knocks out their Galarian Sirfetch'd V, dealing 270 damage. That is insane. That's why I like this version better than the Gapejaw Bog one. Because this one, all you need is like 1 and 2 maybe for backup. That way, even if they target one of our Pawniards, we have a backup Pawniard with damage counters on it. And our Bisharp can continue to attack with a lot of damage. So they present their other Galarian Sirfetch'd V in the active. That will get a knockout. But that's okay, we have a reserved Bisharp all set to go. But what we need is a Metal Energy. We have 5 in this deck. So we only have 1. We don't have a recovery item, so we will have to draw into another Metal Energy. Hopefully we can draw into it. That's the thing. Let's evolve into our Bisharp first. And I could stack more damage to our Pawniard with a Cape of Toughness. I'm just going to do that. That way when I'm going to use Bruno. That way we're not shuffling as much card back into the deck. And there it is. Metal Energy, nice. Metal Energy, dude. So we're going to get a knockout here. It's pretty sweet, man. And we have Energy Retrieval. Vengeful Cut, and we're dealing 300 plus damage here now. 330 damage. Nothing is going to survive that anymore. We got a Raihan and another Grass Energy. This is insane, guys. You're pretty much one-hit knocking out any Pokemon in the game. And their Galarian Zapdos is not knocking out any of our Bisharp. They're only dealing 70 damage. And they don't even have enough energy. Well, actually they do. There it is, yeah. There's the Sirfetch'd, switching all those 3 energies onto their Sirfetch'd, knocking out our Bisharp. But now what we don't have is a Bisharp, actually. Although stacking that energy on the one with the Cape of Toughness was a good idea. So now we can present this other Bisharp into the active. And then we have Raihan. We have access to Metal Energy. And then we can also get a Bisharp from our deck. So we have one Bisharp from our deck. I just used that level ball to check. So we'll use Raihan, get a Bisharp, and there it is, guys. Not too bad, not too shabby, guys. Not too shabby, but just to... Let's see how much damage we can deal here. Spring Bloom. We can deal 2 more damage counter before we knock out this... Okay, well, there's a scoop. Anyways, good game. Alright, moving on to our next match. We will go first once again. We're going to start with the Snorlax in the active. We have access to a level ball and a quick ball. So we can get 2 more basic Pokemon on our bench. We also have Old Cemetery. Ooh, Origin Form Palkia V. Since we got a Cherrim from our top deck, I think we will set up our Cherubi. And then I'll discard the energy. We can use Raihan at some point. Get a Pawniard. Use Old Cemetery. Gormandize for 4. Nice, we got an energy, Bisharp. So now we can evolve our Pokemon here. And all we need is to set up another Pawniard. We can start stacking damage counters to it. All we need are grass energies as well. But I don't think my opponent can attack their first turn going second. Nope, they don't. They don't even have any energy. Nice, so we can evolve into our Cherrim. We can't Gormandize yet. We can't really set up yet. We don't have Pawniard. So we might have to Gormandize again. So I'll just evolve into a Bisharp. Put an energy. And then at least we can draw into what? 2 cards? Yeah. So let's Gormandize. Got another Old Cemetery and a Quick Ball. So that's good. We can get a Pawniard with that. And hopefully they don't boss my Bisharp, because now we're going to be left with no attacker. And that's just going to ruin everything. They have Irida, which is a pretty powerful card actually. Especially when you're... I was thinking it goes really well with the Inteleon deck as well. Or Inteleon engine. Because you can get an item card and then get the evolution for Inteleon. You can get like 3 trainer cards in a single turn. Ice Rider Calyrex V. Okay. So this is a Palkia VSTAR. But you know what? That 2 damage counter on their Palkia V could be a good thing. Because now it's going to be easier for us to kind of knock it out. We'll use our Quick Ball. Sacrifice Raihan, I think. So that we can get a Pawniard. We can start stacking our damage counters to it. Just going to use Clara now. So that I can get 2 grass energies. So now we have 4 damage counter to our Pawniard. And then I'm just going to Gormandize here. What I fear the most is boss. Because once they boss our Pawniard, that is the only one with damage counter to it. It just resets everything. And I think it's best to set up 3. So you need at least 2 Bisharps and at least 1 Pawniard. Because you can stack damage counter to a basic Pokemon. All you need to do is put 1 basic, and then as long as you have grass energy, you can stack those damage counter. But once they knock out our Bisharp, it's hard to get another one. So my opponent manages to evolve into their Palkia VSTAR and also their Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX. They get a knockout. Just gonna retreat here with Pawniard into my Bisharp. I think we can get a knockout actually. Can we get a knockout here? Because we already have 4 damage counter. We have Old Cemetery to stack more damage. We have access to Raihan. But we only have 1 energy in the discard pile. And we need that to use Raihan. So what I'm going to do, I think, is just put an energy on Snorlax. And then I'll get Cape of Toughness. I could get another Pawniard though. But I'll just stack it to this one for now. So I'll just Spring Bloom another energy, dealing 2 more damage counter. That's 6. And with the Cape of Toughness, we can actually stack as much as 100 damage to our Pawniard. So with this, we're dealing how many now? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 210 damage with Bisharp. And Palkia has 260. So we will need to get 2 more damage counter. So that's 8 damage counter. We need to hit for 260, 210, plus 6, 270, right? Yeah, dude, I think we got it. I think we can get a knockout here. Vengeful Cut. Yeah. There it is, 270 damage. Getting us 2 prizes. That's insane, man. Dude, look at this. All you need is 1 Bisharp to deal a 1-hit KO to all of your Pokemon. That's insane. Just 1. Just 1 Bisharp, guys. And that's why I like this combo better. It's true, I only have 1 Cherrim line. I could go for a 2-2 line, but I feel like you don't need it as much, especially if you're going against lower HP matchups. They do get a knockout on our Bisharp. We don't have any other attacker. So this is a bad thing. This is really bad. Because we don't have a secondary attacker. That's the thing. But we can attack with Snorlax. So we'll retreat. We have 1 grass energy. I can use Cherrim. So we'll attach 1. I can use Cherrim to accelerate another grass energy. And hopefully we get another grass energy here. We don't. How are we going to do this now? Because I'm hoping that I'm just going to attack with Snorlax. If I can paralyze their Ice Rider, we might have a chance to set up another Bisharp. I think I'll have to sacrifice this Pawniard, honestly. That way I can use my energy retrieval, and we're just gonna recharge Pawniard again. But at least this time we can attack for 100 damage with Snorlax, and we're gonna survive this damage counter. And then I can just use Bruno. So Body Slam, come on, paralyze, please. Yes. So if my opponent doesn't have anything against this, we should. Oh, let's go. Let's go. All right, let's get into another match. We are gonna be able to go first again. We've been doing really good with these coin flips, man. Gotta say. I'm gonna start with a Pawniard in the active. We have Manaphy and another level ball, so we could probably got a Metal Energy from our top deck. I could probably just grab another Pawniard here. Energize my active. And then I might as well play Manaphy, and then I'm just gonna pass. A little bit of a dead hand here, but if we can get an Old Cemetery, evolve into our Bisharp next turn. If we attach that Grass Energy to Pawniard on the bench, that's 2 damage counter. We're hitting for 90 damage, knocking out this Mew on their active. So we don't have any draw options though, so that's really bad. But they're gonna Marnie. Okay. So plan B. But that could be a good thing, because again, our hand was a little bit dead there. Alright, cool. We have a few draw support that we can use on our next turn. We have Marnie and also Bruno. And my opponent is just burning through their deck here with their Trekking Shoes, which is a pretty useful item card. But it's good we have Old Cemetery. Alright, Hisuian Heavy Ball. That's actually great for getting basic Pokemon from the prize cards. I was thinking of adding a Heavy Ball and also a 2-2 line of Cherrim instead of the 1-1 line I have now. It's just that I feel like Cherrim is really not that necessary in most cases, because like this one, you can pretty much stack your damage counter within a turn or two. So I'm not too reliant on Cherrim. It is really good to have though, especially if you're going up against a lot of high HP V Pokemon or V Max. So that's, I think having a 2-2 line of Cherrim is good. It's more on the safe side. But you know what? What's the fun of that? Gotta live dangerously and go for that 1/1 Cherrim line, right? I don't know. What do you guys think? Are you gonna go for the 2/2 line or the 1/1 line Cherrim? But for me, this is what's working for me, so I'm gonna stick with it. And my opponent's charging up their Zacian V Trainer Gallery card, which is really cool. I wish I could get one, but that's fine. Got a Snorlax, so I'm just gonna retreat. Play the old Cemetery Marnie. That will reduce my opponent's cards down to 4 on their hand. We have Cherrim. Can evolve this into Bisharp, and then I can start setting up my Bibarel line, which is actually a good draw support late game, especially when you need to draw into more energy cards. And if you don't have a lot of supporter trainer cards, it's a good option to have, just so you can draw into more cards when you need it. And my opponent's also using Dialga. Okay, this is a pretty dangerous matchup because that one can attack twice. If they use their VSTAR power attack, they can knock one of our Pokemon and then attack again. Or actually, and it's an entire turn, not just an attack. So this is the Dialga is not like what's that, Jumpluff, that is only limited to attacking twice per turn or twice in a row. This one you actually get 2 complete turns. I still have to try that out with Medicham. I really want to be able to showcase. Ooh, they have Avery. I could probably get rid of Manaphy. We don't need that this match, I don't think. But yeah, I want to try out the Dialga with Medicham. I want to see if we can pull off a 3-turn attack. But right now they need to stack energies to their Dialga. They have another Crobat, 2 Crobats. I think that's pushing it a little too far. But that's their draw option, so you know there's nothing wrong with that. To each his own. If that's their play style, and another 2 Crobats is what makes them comfortable, then because like a lot of competitive decks, they play 4 Marnie, 4 Professor. I mean, 2/2 line for me is sufficient enough. Probably not on a competitive level, but it's enough to get a deck build going, if that makes sense. So they have their Zacian V all powered up. Most probably they're just gonna attack here. They use their Crobat to draw into 4 more cards. So that's really good. But now their bench is pretty stacked up with supporter Pokemon. So they only have 2 attackers, Zacian V, and also their Origin Form Dialga V. So they're gonna knock out my Snorlax, and then I'm just gonna put my Bisharp in the active. We can attack, but we don't have a Cherrim. We cannot stack any damage counter. So we'll just use their Stadium, put an energy there. I'm just gonna have to Marnie here. There's really not much I could do. I could stall another turn with Snorlax and then just go from there, I guess, because they can't attack with Zacian V anyways. We gotta switch from that Marnie, so that's really good. And then probably build up my Cherrim line. So we'll get a Cherubi, and I'm just gonna Gormandize for 4. So Snorlax is man, I don't know. I cannot emphasize how good Snorlax is, and I'm just gonna be really sad if rotation hits and I can't play Snorlax anymore. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to build a really good a really good deck anymore. But it's just a basic Pokemon that can draw into 7 cards is insane. Although Radiant Greninja is good too. You can draw into 2 cards every turn, but you do lose an energy every turn as well. So that's, I don't know. But for what it is, I think we are in a good spot here. We did stall another turn. Their Zacian V cannot attack unless they can switch it into their Mew maybe. And then they can retreat back. They have Metal Saucer to energize their Dialga. But Bronzong with a Metal Transfer ability I think would be good in their deck. That way they can just transfer all the Metal Energy around and go from there. Canceling Cologne, alright. that's a good card to have as well, especially if your opponent is using Miltank. But unfortunately for my opponent, it's really useless against us. So my opponent's just gonna attach a energy to their Dialga, and they're just gonna Intrepid Sword. Alright, cool. So we survive another turn here. Got a Raihan from our top deck. Let's bump out their Stadium with our Old Cemetery. Evolve into Bibarel. I'll just get a Cherrim here so we can stack damage counter. Just need grass energies in play. So we can put that metal energy. So we have 4 damage counter to our Pawniards in play. And I'm just going to thin out my hand. Use Industrious Incisors. Drawing 3 cards. We got Cynthia's Ambition. We got a grass energy. I think what I'm going to do here is just get a knockout with Bisharp. Vengeful Cut. With 4 damage counters, we're dealing 150 damage already. So that's really powerful attack. Since we have Pawniard with Cape of Toughness, we have 1 grass energy in play already. We can evolve into another Bisharp next turn. So if my opponent manages to knock out my active, we have another attacker all ready to go. And we can even use Cynthia's Ambition to draw into more cards. Hopefully more grass energies. And if we can stack enough energy, we might be able to knock out their Zacian or even their Dialga. Now that they evolve it into VSTAR, they can also use their VSTAR power attack. And if they get 2 turns, they can knock out my Bisharp, and then we can present Snorlax, I guess. So that even if they knock it out, we still have a full set of Pokemon set up on board. So we should be okay, but yeah, Dialga is pretty powerful in that your opponent doesn't just get 2 consecutive attacks, they get full turns, which is pretty crazy. They can play another supporter card, attach another energy, etc, etc. It's just such a bonkers, crazy V-Star power attack, which can lead a player to just win a game. Being able to get 2 turns in a row. I really want to try it though with the Medicham. I want to be able to showcase, you know, even if it's like a really bad deck, I just want to see how it works if you have like a 3-turn you know, that'd be crazy. So 2 turns with Dialga, and then if you knock one out with Medicham, you get another turn. That's just crazy. Oh, maybe I can get a match where I win the game in a 3 turns in a row match. That would be crazy. That would be crazy. Alright, they're gonna switch their Dialga. Most likely they're gonna attack. Yep, they're gonna target my Bibarel. Okay, 160 damage with 3 energies. But the Old Cemetery helped kind of soften up their Dialga. But because they attacked my Bibarel, I have my Bisharp attacker still in play. So I'll just stack even more damage counter to my Pawniard. Now I have 6. Dude, this is insane. Let's go Cynthia. So now we can stack even more damage counter. So we're talking 100 damage in total here, 60 and 40. Let's use Quick Ball, get another Pawniard in case they target one of our other Pawniard. Vengeful Cut for a knockout, dude. 330 damage. Let's go. Let's go. Got another Cape of Toughness. And even if they target our Pawniard with a lot of damage, we have Clara. We can just get our energies back, our Pawniard back. We have Old Cemetery. So even if they bump out our Old Cemetery in play already, we just have all of the elements we need to get another continuous knockout here. And right now they can't even attack. They can't even use their Zacian V. They don't have any energies. Unless they have Metal Saucer, they need to switch out their Mew. And there's a scoop, man. That's crazy. Good game. And that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please don't forget to smash the like button for me. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching the Popsicle Night channel, and as always, stay safe and have a great day.